So there's a little time to do one more short video. And again, I'm going to be knitting. And again, for those who have never seen my videos are informal. I'm a mother of 3, and I do what I can. So, anyway, so this is a video on some couple tips on basic nutrition for women in general, but very important also, especially for cryptic pregnancy mothers. I've been on this cryptic pregnancy journey for a few years now. I've been in the cryptic pregnancy communities for a couple of years now. And being an intuitive, psychic, and alternative healer, practitioner, I've observed a couple of things. The need in terms of nutrition, the need in nutrition when it comes to cryptic pregnancy moms who, a lot of the cryptic pregnancy symptoms have to do physically with the need for certain support nutrition. Number 1, good fats. So important. Good fats. Women, especially in the Western world, have been duped, lied to about the vital importance of good fats in a woman's diet. Good fats are foundational for fertility health, and fertility health isn't just about having babies, although that's a huge part of it. But fertility health for women is central in our creative fire in general, in our life. This symbol of the wise woman healer over her cook fire pot. I just made another mistake here on my knitting. Oh, that's what I get for doing the video and doing the and doing this at the same time. So basically, okay, so so good fat. So the symbol of the cook fire and the wise woman over the cook fire and her pot of good things. The cook fire, even the fire underneath, is a powerful symbol of the intuition, the intuitive life. And please see my other videos talking about intuition, and my most recent video concerning the my journey in cryptic pregnancy, and the video is specifically entitled "How Did I Cope with Cryptic Pregnancy?" I talk a lot about woman roots and legacy, and specifically woman healer roots, and who I am as a woman healer, and the fire represents the intuition, and then the pot on top, and what goes into the pot is this creative, nourishing and powerful brewing of life and resorting. There could be resorting going on. There could be rejuvenation going on within that pot, within that cook fire. And so that's the symbol of the womb, and women, and that fire, that creative fire in women that creates all kinds of life. And then the cycle, the woman's cycle, that deterioration part during the dark side of the moon cycle is that death cycle, that transformation cycle. And good fats generate heat in the body. The body creates heat through burning fat, and good fat and healthy fat. And good fat is cell food, is literally foundational cell food. And if you want to starve a woman of her vitality, of her central vitality, you tell her to avoid fats. You tell, which sounds familiar in Western society, and then not educate her about good fats, the need for good fats. Over medicate her and not educate her about the needs for good fats. Good fats include coconut oil, ghee, which is clarified butter, which is the lactose is taken out of the butter. The fat remains. It's highly digestible. I've been taking that recently. And, excuse me. Avocado, the oils and omega-3s in avocados, sesame oil, good olive oils, the fats in meat. A lot of fats in meat are good fats. Making bone broth and boiling the bones of different meats in a pot. If you're not vegetarian, and if you're vegetarian, you've got to get those. You have got to get those good fats in. A lot of cryptic pregnancy moms are vegetarian, interestingly enough, and I think a lot of the bleeding and losing those hormones during cryptic pregnancy have to do with not enough absorption of or intake of good fats, because and the woman's body relies on good fats. The body creates breast milk from good fat, from fat in the body. That's how we create breast milk. That incredible nutrition for our life, for the life that we brought forth, for our newborn. So big one. If you really haven't, been aware or conscious of that, if you first start, it's probably good to make sure you have at least 2 tablespoons a day of any of those good fats I just mentioned. Number 2, I would like to introduce to you 3 vital two are fertility herbs, and one is an anti-hemorrhaging herb, which can really help with the bleeding, which I really feel is something that when the body loses those hormones in the blood, it can be difficult to support that cook fire, that life going on inside, So, one herb is called red clover. And that's a very mainstay, wise woman healer, ancient, blood purifying and fertility herb. Red clover, you can buy it at mountainroseherbs.com. I'll put that in the description in this video. And to start, I would make an infusion, a strong tea, which is also called an infusion of that herb. Steep it for 2 to 4 plus hours. Sweeten it with honey. Have a cup to 2 cups a day. And it's sort of it's not an immediate one, but it's a powerful building over time one. And it's very important for balancing hormones, purifying the blood, and creating the best circulation and environment for life, creativity, life on the inside of a woman's body. The second herb is raspberry leaf herb. That one is also a fertility herb. It's tonifying, which means it really, specifically tonifying, which means it really helps to strengthen the endometrium lining within the womb and the reproductive organs, and it helps to strengthen that area so that the body can regulate that hemorrhaging better, and again the same. I'll put the link. Well, yeah, I'll put the link mountainroseherbs.com. I'll put that in the description. Again, make an infusion, a strong tea with that. Drink it the same way. Really important. Dates is another one. I wasn't going to do that one, but dates is another one. Another tonifying, very nourishing, has good fats in it. Food for women. Specific also to fertility and reproductive health in women. The third one is shepherd's purse. Shepherd's purse, buy in a tincture. Okay, an extract in a tincture in a bottle of liquid with a dropper. You can buy that if you just Google it. You can find it online. It's called shepherd's purse, and it's an anti-hemorrhaging herb. Really, really effective with stopping bleeding, and that can be taken anywhere from a few drops to a couple of droppers, depending on how heavily you're bleeding. Go with your intuition. If you're really heavily bleeding, start with 2 droppers every half hour or so, and then scale down as the bleeding subsides to one dropper every half hour, then half a dropper every half hour, and then half of that, which is about 5 drops every half hour. Yeah, but that's a really good. I've used it for nosebleeds a lot with my eldest, who has sometimes some spontaneous nose bleeding, and I plan to keep it on hand for when I go into labor, to just to ensure that if there's any problem with that, then I have it on hand. So those are my suggestions that are really important for any woman, in particular cryptic pregnancy mamas, to really start to deeply nourish your body in this ancient wise woman way. All this knowledge is very ancient, was practiced by woman healers all over the world for thousands of years. And this knowledge was inherent in thousands of cultures, until it was lost mostly in Western culture, especially with the rise and overtake of masculine-centered medicine, Western medicine, and religions. So I'm just a part of bringing that back in myself and sharing that with all of you. So Hope to do this again, and blessings on all your journeys, and light and love.